Welcome back to a quick recap of everything that's been going on in the Champions League. For Tuesday, November 26th, I'm going to be going down through all the games similar to what I've done in the past, and then go through all the games and kind of give quick summaries of them. The first one is Atletico Madrid versus Sparta Prague. So this one had a 6-0. Julian Alvarez and Angel Correa, they played really well. They both got braces. And it was a dominant performance from Atletico. It was really poor from Sparta Prague, though. One of the worst performances I've seen this year in the Champions League. And I've been to Prague, beautiful city. But that football that I saw today was not beautiful. It was not good. That second goal specifically, terrible goalkeeping. This was a really good win for Atletico, though. They are now in the 13th spot, which is good for them because they were kind of struggling before. Now AC Milan versus Slovan Bratislava. This is kind of shaky for Milan. They got that 3-2. They did end up winning, but Slovan almost made a comeback at the end. This was probably their best performance I've seen from them. They are still on 0 points and they didn't win, but most other games they went in to that second half losing already. And this is the first game this entire season that they have not gone down at the break. AC Milan are in 14th. Slovan Bratislava still on 0 points, though. The one redeeming factor is that I've been to Bratislava in Slovakia. It's a nice place, but their football is not nice, similar to Prague. Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0. This was kind of the best game on paper going into this, but it kind of disappointed. I watched it, but looking at the other score lines and watching other games on different screens, it was kind of boring compared to what was going on. But it was a good win for Bayern. That Kim Min-jae goal, that header in, it was bad goalkeeping by the keeper, but Kim Min-jae did head that winner in the first half, and there was a somewhat controversial Dembele red card, but I've seen a lot of people that they've been happy that Dembele got that red card because Dembele is somewhat unpopular, especially among Barcelona fans. But yeah. Now we're going to go into Barcelona 3. Speaking of Barcelona 3, Brest 0. This game really sets it up. If you didn't believe that Barcelona were potential Champions League contenders before, you probably should start believing it now. Lewandowski brace, and it was kind of a dominant performance by Barca. Brest was knocked out of that top 8. Kind of that fairy tale sort of performance seen by them. Didn't really live it up as much in that game, but overall, they still are doing better than Madrid and Manchester City, which we'll get into later because that was a big game, to say the least. And yeah, just good result by Barcelona. I do believe them, Liverpool, Inter Milan, and yeah, those three are really the top UCL contenders right now, in my opinion. Speaking of Inter Milan 1, RB Leipzig 0. They are first now in the UCL. Now, of course, if Liverpool ties or beats Real Madrid tomorrow, Liverpool will go first in that standing. But for now, Inter Milan is first in that table. They also sit with no goals conceded at all in the UEFA Champions League, which is extremely impressive. Leipzig could put up a good fight, but they're still in big trouble. They're in 33rd position out of 36. They're in a huge risk of not making just the playoffs, right? Which is 9 to 26, I believe. So they're not 24. So they're just not in a good position. Now Atalanta 6, Young Boys 1. Young Boys from Switzerland, Atalanta from Italy. It was a quality performance by Atalanta. The scoreline doesn't really tell the full story because Atalanta had more possession, but it was only 56 to 44% possession. But it was still a really good performance. Retegi scored a few, and I forgot who else scored a few, but there was another guy in there with a brace. And Young Boys are still one of the 5 teams that continue with 0 points. It's just not been a good Champions League performance by them. It really hasn't been a good year for any Young Boys in 2024, especially with Drake and Diddy going around right now, but that's neither here nor there. Good performance by Atalanta. Now we go into Arsenal 5, Sporting Lisbon 1. This was a great performance by Arsenal. They should be really happy about this against a solid opponent. Now, my question is will Sporting struggle without the leadership of Ruben Amorim? That could be what's going on here. They still need to find their footing under new leadership, new management. There may be something going on in the dressing room. I don't know. But and another big part of that was the fact that Gyökeres went completely missing that game. He's on track to beat Messi's record of how many goals he scored in a calendar year, but Gyökeres, he's not really extending to that. Trying to break that record in that game. He didn't do much. But Arsenal, again, they should be really happy with this win against a solid opponent. Now, Bayer Leverkusen against Salzburg. Leverkusen, I don't know why I didn't write this, but Leverkusen won 5-0 against Salzburg. It was a really good game for Leverkusen. Salzburg didn't really do much. Again, they're one of the... both RB teams are really struggling in here, but Leverkusen, again, through Florian Wirtz, through Schick, through Grimaldo, again, continue to do really well in this Champions League. Now, this is the big game, and I don't know why it's last, but, it's the most notable for last. Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3. I remember the days, these days weren't even long ago. This was literally a year ago, where City won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. They won the Champions League. They did all that. But you really start seeing right now just how much Rodri was important to that team. And just how much, all the Vinny supporters, right? Vinny should have won the Champions League, but, we're seeing right now how important Rodri was to that Premier League winning and that Champions League winning team, and kind of why he won that Ballon d'Or, because he was critical there. Without Rodri, with his ACL gone, this team is a, shadow of its former self. They've been embarrassed the past 6 games. Really, City hasn't done much in these past games where Rodri has been injured. And this game specifically, they didn't lose like they have the past few games, but you really let Feyenoord, which isn't even credit to Feyenoord, right? They scored 3 goals in 15 minutes. It's really good, but how are you going to let a team from the Eredivisie, it's not even a top 5 league in the world, beat the Premier League champions and the champions of Europe, really? That's just a problem for them. City are 15th in the standings, but they're at an all-time low in terms of morale, and this could go down with Madrid that plays tomorrow if they are going to get a result out of Liverpool. I don't know, but yeah, this is just kind of what's been going on currently.